Yeah, that's a new series I'm starting on my successful former students. Okay.
What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. My weekend has been crazy. And listen, I know that a lot of people are mad at me. I know there's a lot of people mad at me because of my April Fool's joke. People are like, you're so childish. You're a clickbaiter. Yeah. Why'd you do? I was like, listen, I didn't invent April Fool's Day. I'm not, okay. There are people out there that have YouTube channels that do nothing but clickbait every day. Not on April Fool's, but every day. I don't see y'all getting pissed off at them for coming up with crazy stuff like, the Cowboys are interested in C.J. Stroud, right?
Yeah.
But I do. Cowboys traded for, DeAndre Hopkins on April Fool's. Don't be mad at the player. Be mad at the game. Okay?
Yeah.
I just know how to play the game. Do it early in the morning before anybody's really awake. So the first thing they see is, oh my God. Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
That's right.
Okay. So here we go. We are in here. We are in the house here with our usual Sunday afternoon, filling the space.
Happy Sunday.
Filling the space from no football, where we started this out last year as a bitch fest because we were all bitchy. Let's be clear here. We cussed out the Cowboys. We just kept going, cat boy this, cat boy that. Jerry Jones don't care about winning. And now it seems like maybe the Cowboys are becoming that team that people are worried about. What's up, Mr. Cowboy and Roland's Review? How y'all doing today?
Nothing much, Mark. Nothing much.
I'm actually kind of recovered. Yesterday was one of those incredible days. I always love going to the autograph signing shows, seeing all the legends. There's Lola, Miss Hot Sauce. What's up, Miss Hot Sauce? I I need more time in the day because I got to get that reloaded. I got to cut out that I'm burning for you, Lola. I got to do it. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting until I do my live streams.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, sir.
It was pretty cool how Michael Irvin thought that piece you made for him was pretty cool,
Man, I tell you what, I understand. I know what Michael Irvin's problem is. I know the true problem is his natural nature these days. Because after all of this shit that's happened, Michael Irvin was being Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin is that friendly guy. Michael Irvin's from a family of like 15 or 19 kids. Okay? Yeah, everybody's used to being all on top of everybody. Because your family and stuff. But he is so open and so kind.
Yeah.
Because here it was, when he came out, I had, da-da-dun, da-da-dun. Damn Gina and, her daughter there, right? Now, a lot of guys, when they do the autograph signings, they're sitting behind the table. And this is where I kind of gave a lot of flack to Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons had earbuds in. And he signed and didn't even look up most of the time. This was the year before. And I'm just like, people are paying $175 to get your autograph and to meet you. You could at least take the earbuds out for that hour that you're there.
Yeah.
You could at least smile. Okay. Now, granted, they charge extra for you to take a picture with them. So I understand, I'm not trying to give you a free picture or something like that. But you could at least acknowledge that they just gave you and your people $175. Now, this year he was much better, but they still, don't want you taking pictures and stuff. The agent is like right there, like a hawk, making sure that he can bleed for every every penny that he can, from the player. Yeah. And you have generally the older players are appreciative of the fact that people still remember. And they're sitting behind the table. They'll right now, they'll let you kind of lean over and, snap a picture, and you feel great about that. Okay. All right. So, you spend $50 or $75. At least you got a picture with them and an autograph. And you can say, hey, look at me with him. Yeah. Michael Irvin came out from behind the table and has Gina under his arm, took a picture with her, took one with their daughter and everything else, just because he's that kind of guy. He's appreciative of it. He's excitable. And as when I first got there, I handed him the plaque and all that. He was looking at that. He's like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. And I said, that one is for you. And I'm recording this because this is great. And his guy said, no video. I'm like, oh, fuck. But, you hear Michael Irvin said, I'm keeping this. And the whole time I went through and I had a conversation with him. And I said, Michael, I said, looking at you through, the case and everything else, I said, you seem so down. I wanted to give you a motivational message from one of the best motivators out there. And on there, it was basically his quote from that. And we got talking there, and I got a picture where he not only shook my hand, he shook my hand and had both hands wrapped around it. And you can see it was really genuine because that's the type of person he is. Now,
yeah,
I'm sitting here in my mind where I'm getting a lot of flack from people because people are like, you need to let it go because he's just a sexual predator. She backed up, man. She backed up. And I'm just thinking to myself, wait a minute. Wait. Are we literally saying that he touched her on the elbow and that's the equivalent of being sexually harassed?
exactly.
If that's the case, and this is where things kind of get crazy to me because I'm old. Okay, it used to be you'd ask a girl out, and was X amount of time before you got to first base and kissed and all that. Nowadays things are different. You got the tenders and the hookups and stuff where basically it's kind of like, do you want to go but and you do, and you don't even know the person's name and you're going about your business. That's the way business is done nowadays. And so now you're sitting there saying he was drunk and he sexually harassed her by touching her on the elbow. And I'm sitting there thinking, I've heard people that are much bigger people that are, grabbing girls on the chest or, forcing kisses that are lawsuits against them.
And grabbing them by other bodies.
And grabbing them and saying, hey, you can grab them. And I'm like, so this is now, why is this different than everything else we saw?
I guess those same people didn't see the attention of her trying to let him catch up to her, whenever she slowed down and all this and all that. It's obvious she wanted an interaction with Michael Irvin. What kind of interaction was it? We don't know.
Yeah.
But that was upset. That whoever, I don't know if that was her boyfriend, I don't know. He didn't like, if you watch his expression, he was upset the whole time.
Yeah. But I tell you, it was good for me to actually see that, he's interacting with people, that it hasn't changed the personality that he's had. Every time I have seen Michael Irvin, and I've seen Michael Irvin at his worst, because I saw him, the first time I met him was an hour after he found out he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. And literally at the NFL commissioner's party, he's standing there by himself. Nobody is like, listen, he got bad news. I don't want to go over and say anything. And I'm like, look, I'm Joe the fan. I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to meet Michael Irvin again. I got to go over and say hello. And I did. And I talked to him for a few minutes there and things like that and all that, and got a picture with him, that I finally got an autograph from him a couple years ago. But he is a very open person and loves the spotlight. So taking the career away from ESPN, that is, that's his lifeblood. That's like being in the locker room and being with the fellas and football and stuff. And so I hope that they can get this thing straightened out.
Mark, well, I don't understand. Why is this thing lingering? I mean, it's obvious that he did not do what was stated earlier. So why?
I've got some thoughts on this. Well, to me, this is one of those things that Marriott would be better off just settling the suit for the NFL and Marriott both, just to try and make it go away. But I think there's actually a little bit more in play, and I'm going to have a video up on my thoughts about it. I've talked to some other people. It's been actually kind of interesting because I've had different people reach out to me that have been directly involved into the situation, and I'm going to talk about that, what I think, because I think there's more going on than just this incident as far as Michael's employment with ESPN and NFL Network. I just do.
Also, though,
what do you mean? You think it was,
James.
it's like they were out to get him or something, or?
And I don't think that, honestly, I think what happened was that she was kind of in hot water with her boss for talking to him.
That's what
maybe she's already like on, bad footing or something. And, he's, what are you doing? We got blah, 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 blah we need to do. And then it's like, oh, well, he was saying this. I think that's a possibility. Because here's where I look at this thing, because there's so many things that were wrong in this. First thing I learned with my wife, whenever we did something with the NFL, you cannot be Joe the fan. I'm literally in Valley Ranch while they're having spring practice. I'm watching players after player. My wife is like, I will be the first one to call security on you. You cannot ask for a picture. You cannot ask for, autograph. This is at a different level. This is my job. That's what you're taught. So for this other guy who was kind of walking around and waiting for her to finish the conversation to turn around and say, hey, can I get a picture with you? That's against the policy. You can't treat the celebrities. You treat them like, you don't know they're celebrities. That guy was wrong right there. So he's now one of the witnesses who should be technically in hot water.
Yeah.
For asking for a picture. And supposedly they were concerned about her, but you weren't so concerned that you decided you want to get a picture with him. Or was this going to be a mugshot? Oh, that must be what it was. So you just kind of like, wait a minute. The other thing that kind of kills on all this is the NFL and Marriott only talk to Marriott people. They didn't talk to anybody. They didn't talk to anybody who was with Michael Irvin before the situation. They didn't talk to the witnesses that were there. They're solely going by what Marriott has said in this tape.
Mark,
I don't see anything on that tape.
Had this been, let's take Michael Irvin out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this has been Jerry Jones and a young lady.
Wait a minute. That. You mean Jerry Jones, who's currently being sued for kissing a woman?
Right. So
without her consent? You mean that Jerry Jones?
Right.
Okay.
Right. That same one. So do you think, would they have gone to his room? Okay, you got to leave the hotel. No, they would not have.
He didn't lose his job. He didn't lose his job. I think he's still the owner of the Cowboys.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
You know what, though, y'all?
Wait. Didn't Dan Snyder and his people take the passports away from their cheerleaders in a foreign country and made them perform topless for ticket holders? Yeah. Isn't he also accused of doing something with a person in a limousine? Didn't the owner of the Patriots get caught in a massage parlor?
Well, if it's Michael Irvin, different set of rules, right?
That's all I'm saying. What? Ron Oliver, what's up? Ron, yeah, we definitely need to Ron. We definitely need to update the lyrics a little bit. It's a new season. It's a new era. We're going to go on through. But, I'll get to the Michael Irvin stuff, and all that at a little time, because some people get triggered when I talk about it and they get upset and say, I'm not here for this, that, and the other. You're not that's okay. But it was good to see him and go ahead and talk with him so much, along with so many of the greats. I screwed up because Trayvon Diggs. Here's what I did. I thought I called myself being smart. I was trying to make extra ones of the prints just in case people wanted them. So I made 3 ones for Diggs. And depending on if they really looked at it, because I had people like, wow, this is cool. Where did you get it? And it's like, I made this because I'm real proud of it. I'm a little kid in shop class. Mom, look what I made. It's cute, Johnny. Let me put it on the fridge. And Tony Dorsett, he looked at his. He's like, man, where did you get this? And it's like, I made it, but I only made 2. And Tony was like, man, I love this. And I was like, okay. I said, I'll tell you what. You keep that one, sign this one, and I'll get you to sign Little Joe Barty. And then I said to him, now we both have something that's same, because I'm keeping the other one. And I said, you have the football gods, which you're one of, and I have that. So, we had a nice little conversation. That was kind of cool. Diggs saw it. He's like, man, this is dope. I was like, you can have that one. He's like, seriously? And he's shy. He is kind of very, very soft-spoken and very shy. I was surprised. And
I'm sure a lot of them didn't expect to get, a ton of gifts or gifts that meant something to them.
Well, and Michael Irvin was just like, wow. He was just like, wow. So I was like, that's yours. So to me, it feels good that they wanted it. Hey, here you go. And his manager's like, you got any cards? I'm like, here you go. Here's a couple of them.
You've been a true lifelong Cowboys fan. That makes you feel pretty good that you can make them feel good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And also too, the thing that's sad to me is you're a lot younger than I am, but seeing the guys that were my heroes, they're forgotten by the NFL. These guys didn't have the multi-million-dollar contracts and stuff. And a lot of the guys that are there have physical ailments. They don't have retirement. They're not doing that well. These autograph signings are, their lifeblood. And trying to do what I can to give back for what they did for me growing up is part of my
What percentage of the money do they get to keep?
I don't know on that one, but it's more than just the signings in individual. David Wiley, what's up, David? They also basically go into a back area and they're just signing tons of merchandise that gets sold online and stuff. So,
really?
I'm sure they get several $1,000s for these appearances and things. So, at least it's one way of them making money. David Wiley, are you ready to go on hit the road? All right, so here's where things are kind of interesting right now, and I don't mean to be. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore anybody in the chats and stuff because I see Eastside Heralds who says the champ is here. I don't know how you can think you're a champ. I literally saw, and this was actually the saddest thing that I've ever seen.
They only have the number 2 overall pick, Mark.
Hold on. The saddest thing I saw yesterday was Dalton Schultz.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Dalton Schultz literally had nobody, and I mean nobody. He sat there literally like, why am I here? Arms crossed. And I was just like, damn. No, I mean, no. Texas, hey, Eastside, had I known that it was going to be that bad, I would have gotten a ticket for him. I would have gotten his autograph just to send to you. But there was nobody in line for him. I was like, damn, and I actually felt bad. It's like, do I want to post this? Do I really want to put it on there? I thought of the movie, Tom Cruise, where he says, with me, without me. With me, without me. I was like, with the Cowboys, without the Cowboys. That's where it was just sad. Oh my God!
I like Shelty,
Well,
Shelty was a true Cowboy. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I kind of heard, and I don't mean to spread gossip, but I do have. I know I'm in my mama's basement, but I do get things from people from time to time, and what I've heard is Dalton Schultz was not that well liked on the team. That he was a bit of a diva. That once he got franchise tagged and didn't get the long-term deal, that it really changed him as far as being a teammate.
And him becoming a diva could be the reason why he's not here anymore also, I guess you could say. That would make sense because his production...
That's what I heard. I mean, and I can't tell you if that's true or not.
His production did not tell me that he had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like his play was okay. To get a new contract.
Eastside, go to... I'll tell you what, Eastside... You think I'm exaggerating? Go to my shorts. I put a short up of it. You can look and see the line for everybody, and Dalton Schultz literally with nobody in line there. Nobody. I'm not exaggerating, Eastside. I actually was like, I don't know if I should do this because this is kind of embarrassing. Seriously, Eastside, I shit you not. I shit you not. That's the truth. I see Game Time in the house. What's up, Game Time?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing great, man.
What's up, Game Time, Brian?
I am doing incredible.
It's another day we're here, man. It's a little windy, but we're good.
Well, speaking of another day here, everybody who's here, another fish reference about Mama's basement. I'm proud of being, well, okay. Actually, it's not my mom. Well, unless I consider my wife my mama. My mom, okay, I got her and the bank and me, okay, so it's the three of us basement. But I'm very proud of being here and doing this from my basement. I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn.
Your mom's basement.
Oh, I know. No. Joseph Heatherly. We've talked about Joseph's mom for about 6 months or so having Lou Gehrig's disease, which is there's no treatment, cure, or anything else. It's just you progressively just go downhill. It was named famously for Lou Gehrig, who of course died from it. His mom has been basically unconscious for I think about a week and a half, and she passed away this morning. He said peacefully. Yeah. So Joseph has been an incredible supporter of the channel, a great friend, and so on and stuff. So I just want everybody to, if he happens to come in, or if you see him on someplace, let him know you're thinking about him and give him your condolences and things. Because life is short and life is precious. So you got to make the most of life. Fish is mad because you guys are more relevant. Vosh will steal and others. Here's the thing, Bruce. I'm not trying. Actually, there's enough YouTube out there for everybody. It shouldn't be a competition.
Yep.
Oh, Bruiser said I unfollowed Fish to listen to you. You don't have to unfollow him to listen to us, too.
I unfollowed him, and then I followed him back only because, it's fine to listen to him from time to time. I'm not saying he's doesn't have the information or whatever, but we all know that
it's a different take.
And he's the one that has the issue with the guys like me who, I don't know. I guess we're in our mother's basement, if that's what you want to call.
You want to hear something? Okay, now, I tell you what, Brian. Here, you and I were talking about this a little earlier, but here's what's kind of funny, and I'm actually blown away by this. First Take and Undisputed average about 300 to 500,000 views a day. Pat McAfee, who last I checked, he's an idiot kicker. Okay. I don't think he went to school for journalism. He averages about 1.3 million views a day. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
And Pat McAfee doesn't have a producer and content provider, a research department, a television network and things. So when you start looking and saying that a Pat McAfee can do 2 to 3 times more views than what ESPN does, that says a lot about how it's evolved.
You heard Stephen A. Smith said it a couple weeks ago on that podcast.
I could be next.
He was just basically saying, he's not the one that started all this. He's got, he likes to throw out like all of them do. They all have their journalism degrees, and that's great. But all of a sudden, YouTube came along, and people who live in their mother's basement can be mailmen and all of a sudden start streaming. Not that I'm any, big or nothing, but it's not the point. I can go give my opinion out. But see, to me, that's what makes it special. Anybody can go on. You could be, whoever. You could be like a kid who wants to go on with his friends and video game. Oh, you could be Logan Paul when he was a young kid. Now look at him. It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Some people, that's what you got to look at. That's what makes YouTube special.
That's right.
And we're all not professional, but some people are better than others, in my opinion, and it's up to the people if they want to watch or not.
And see, here's the difference of an ESPN and so on. It's kind of like a smorgasbord. It's got everything there. Okay, it's kind of like
every flavor you want, man.
You see those restaurants where it's like pizza, Chinese food, barbecue, and subs. And they kind of do a little bit of everything, but none of it's exactly. None of it's really good. If you want a steak, you go to a steakhouse.
Right.
If you want barbecue, you go to a barbecue place. And see, that's the difference of what you can do on YouTube. Nobody cares about all the other stuff that they do on, you just get to me with what I want. I want Cowboys news and stuff, and it's from somebody that I can feel like that's my guy, that's my friend, that I can interact with.
That entertains you, or for whatever reason. There doesn't have to be a reason why I watch somebody. Sometimes I just want to laugh, and I'll watch whoever.
Yeah.
there's different flavor for everybody.
Life's
Thomas
too
Garrett,
serious
what's
to
up,
sit
man?
there.
Yeah.
I don't watch the news
I
anymore.
ain't got a YouTube account.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? YouTube is basically a platform for the smaller people that can get big. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
all YouTube channels start off as small.
But I know myself, I ain't doing it to be big. I'm doing it because I enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
I stumbled into something and I enjoy it. There's
You know,
Mark's on a way different level,
But here's the thing, though. You know why I started doing social media? It wasn't that I was like, oh, I want to do. It still blows my mind that I'm actually able to talk in public. I started this.
Yeah.
I started this for the same reason I went to the autograph signing yesterday. I'm going to be honest. I don't really care about autographs. That's why I give them away. For me, it's the experience of meeting the people. But because my wife had the job that she had, and I had experiences that I thought were great, I wanted to share those with them. Originally, it was just me taking pictures and putting it on Facebook or having Joe Boo do the talking because I didn't like to be in front of the camera because I was too shy and I start stuttering. But doing that with Joe Boo gave me the confidence to be able to talk in front of people. And it just kind of kept growing and growing and growing. It wasn't like
I haven't known you that long, Mark, but I felt a moment, I'm just going to, like when we were in Texas, I don't know if I was imagining it or if I'm over exaggerating it, but when we went to Stewart's Memorial, where, it was at a local establishment and you had to go up and speak. Now, I don't know how much, I've been in management for the post office on and off for 8 to 10 years. I've had to stand up in front of 100 people and talk, but I've never had to do what you had to do.
I didn't know I was having to speak and say anything either. I was just like, you're kidding me, right?
I've done that before, but I would tend to think that how you did it and how the reception that you got and the gratification, if you never made a dime off of YouTube, it's moments like that reassure that you're doing the right thing. Am I wrong? Or wasn't that an awesome moment?
You know what? And I'm going to tell you honestly, here's the thing that's crazy. Is most of the time I'll do a video, I don't have a script or anything like that. I just go out and I just talk. I get finished 5 minutes later. I can't tell you what the hell I talked about.
I mean, I'll tell you.
I honestly don't. I just
50 people in that place. It was packed. It was hot. It was at a bar. It was at a.
We were tired because we've been working like crazy.
But it was outside. It was an indoor thing, but it was open air, and it was jammed in with Stewart's people, and it was just like an open mic. But when he went up there, people were locked in, and he didn't like skip a beat. So I'm just saying that for somebody who, we talked. It was funny. Me and Mark were talking earlier. We
both were stutterers.
I used to stutter so bad as a child, you would never know it. Not that I'm the most eloquent of speakers, and I didn't go to any school. My mother just kind of worked with me. But I used to be terrified to order when we'd go out, like at a restaurant. I would be afraid to, order anything because I would be afraid that I would stutter. And it's funny, Mark was the same way. I don't know if he was as bad as I was, but regardless.
No, not when it came to food. I want that. Okay. But then again, we didn't go out to dinner. The first time I went out to dinner was I got a job.
I was afraid I was going to stutter
it. Twiz Digger, you'll never get Joe Boo's head. You couldn't handle that smoke there, bro. And I see we got James Nooks in the house. What's up, James?
I was telling Twiz last night. I said there was an weird moment where everybody was passed out in the RV and I'm driving. It was midnight. I don't know. It was just one of the brief moments that Mark was sleeping, and I looked down and Joe Boo's. All I saw was his eyes looking at me in the middle of the night. And
he's like, you better have wrecked this mother humper.
This is interesting. So it was just a little moment of levity for myself.
Oh, Lordy.
What's up? What's up, loyal cowboy?
What's happening?
Well, you all right, man?
Yep.
James, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
How you doing? What's up, Roland?
All right. How are you?
I got a question, y'all, real quick, and this is more football based. There's a lot more coming out that Jalen Carter kid from Georgia. You think anybody picks him in in the first round, considering he could be a
Yeah.
steal late in the first round?
Nah, he'll be top 10 still. That's my opinion.
Mhm.
I hope
so.
he goes before the Eagles, man. Please. Please go before the Eagles.
You know what, though? I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I think that kid, he has some real issues, you know?
Does he, though?
And then
Do we
again,
know he
you don't have an
does?
issue to be an Eagle or an Eagle fan anyways, but, you know.
You know who else
I
had
don't know,
issues coming out? Micah
I just
Parsons.
feel like he could be, I feel like he could be a Lyle Collins, you know?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say
Would you
Lyle
say
was a
situation?
disappointment. We got him what? Where did we get him?
Lyle Collins was undrafted rookie free
He's an
agent
undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
because
so, I mean, I
because
I
of
think
the
that was
the
kind of
Situation.
allegations of his girlfriend that got killed that he had nothing to do with it.
I'm just saying, I'm not hoping this breaks anybody, but this could be a very similar situation, and I don't know,
Well, Cowboys always like to take a chance on a player that's should be a first round talent, but isn't for whatever reason. Randy Gregory, he should have been a top 10, top 15 guy, but because of the weed, drops to the second round. We get him. Jalen Smith, people are like, we don't know if he'll ever play football again. Should have been a first round pick. Goes to the second round. The Cowboys get him. That's kind of their MO with that second round pick. We'll take a chance on a guy. No problem with that whatsoever.
I don't know. I just feel like Jerry Jones if he's there in the first round, he's going to get him. I don't know why.
We'll have to wait and see. Here's what's kind of interesting to me because, I always like in my morning, I always like to catch, with the talking heads are always saying something negative about the Cowboys. The Cowboys are no longer in vogue to be talked about right now. They don't want to talk and say the Cowboys are actually doing the right things. The Cowboys have a good offseason. You kind of see everybody else but the Cowboys right now because I think they're actually worried that, oh, shit, the Cowboys may be getting their stuff together or maybe there's fatigue with the Cowboys. I don't know. But there's not being talked about with all of the stuff, that we usually have. Last year, it was Cowboys 24/7 that Catboy and Stephen Jones doesn't, know what he's doing. They screwed up Randy Gregory. This year, we've kind of gotten to be, okay, they're making really good moves, not good moves because he's a great player and then overpaying him. They've been making good moves that they've been able to do on the cheap and been able to keep their players on the roster. That's where it's kind of cool. Anybody else thinking about that?
We have to keep the majority of the core pieces together on the team besides Dalton Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, they cut Zeke, but Zeke, as we know, was on his back leg. But I don't know. I think we're going to be all right. I think they get another running back in the first or second round, though. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them get a running back early in the draft again.
You know what? The more I think about it, man, I'm still annoyed. I know people are probably tired of hearing it, but I'm still annoyed that we decided to put the the tender on Pollard, man.
It's funny.
That because I'm doing this. I'm really looking into the draft, and we could have easily have doubled up in this draft, man, and went out and used that $10 million, that almost 11 mil. What is it? 10.1 mil on Pollard, man. We would have got a comp pick for him.
Here's what, but don't be okay. Maybe we're going to overpay for him, but here's the thing: it's better that we overpay for him for this season and can let him go than doing what we did with Zeke, and overpaying him and getting hamstrung on her, or with what we did with Dalton Schultz.
That one move. Let's say we didn't do Pollard, but we were able to extend the Trayvon and CD, and then we double up in the draft.
Well,
man,
you still would have paid him. How much could we have saved? $4 million, $5 million.
Well, I'm just saying you would have been able to lock up guys. Yeah, you know what's going to happen. I'm not trying to be negative today, but I'm going to say you know what's going to happen. I don't hear any whispers. I'll be shocked if they sign either one of them this offseason at this point.
I think they will they probably will during the season. I still think, you've got 10.9 million coming from Zeke. So that'll get us around 24 million right now. Something will probably happen with Jordan Lewis. There may be some other guys that get cut as we go through the draft and stuff. It's there to do their money.
Anthony Brown, yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Anthony Brown, man.
Also, Brian, I'm picking up what you're putting down, man. Because think about this, yo. Think about who are our top 5 most important pieces on this team right now.
I want to take care of my boys and make them happy. You make them fat. You know what I mean?
The thing, speaking of making them fat, I'm going to be honest with you.
Where we go with this?
Diggs is shy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You saw him.
And I screwed up because I didn't record it. Oh, no, I loved it. He saw his print and he's like, whoa. He's like, this is nice. I was like, would you want it? He's like, hell yes. I said, it's yours. He's like, really? And I'm like, yes, take it. Okay, here's my card too if you want something else.
He's young. That's all.
But but he's
emotional.
He's not like, a Dion where he's in your face and stuff. He is very soft spoken.
And I'll take it, man.
And I loved it.
Cover receivers.
I loved it. And about taking care of business.
You know what I mean? Not everybody's got to be a Dion and run to the limelight. It's actually refreshing to see a guy who has his young child and takes him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he's proud of his dad. Hey, listen, pay that guy. Like, why are we waiting?
Micah had his son there too.
Yeah. But basically, what I'm saying, y'all, is that the Micah, CeeDee Lamb, and Diggs are going to take up a big chunk of the pie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get these guys taken care of. I really wouldn't have mind getting Diggs and CeeDee Lamb taken care of last
exactly,
season,
man.
to be honest.
Nobody's saying now. Just remember, I'm not saying Pollard's not going to be on the team, but you see what's going on out there. Nobody's giving
you're right.
running backs nothing. I'm just saying. I thought we overplayed our hand a bit, and you say, well, we have all this money, but you know that we don't have all that money because
you got a big paydays coming.
Yeah. Exactly. Not 1, not 2, but 3. There's 3 enormous contracts coming.
I'll say this.
Well, Cowboy Brian, it's a freeze on all 32 teams on tight ends and running backs this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a contract freeze. I'm gonna tell y'all something.
So why not?
I'm gonna tell y'all something, and don't forget what I'm about ready to say. Next year, big contracts is going out to running backs. I'm telling you now.
They are going out to running backs?
I don't see that happening.
No, I see the tag number going downhill on running backs.
I think that's what's going on, people. I think it was a concerted effort by the owners and the GMs or whatever, whoever's running, their prospective teams to say, let's do this with this running back market to bring the tag down.
The running back and the tight end market.
Yeah, that way. Okay, now that just think about it, people. You don't ever have to give out big money. You could, because if you do a long-term deal with a free agent, you could play with the money, spread it out, add a void year, and it's really not that big a deal. You saw that with Bobby Wagner last year. All that fake money. So. It's just interesting what's going on, man. It's very interesting what's happening. But I'm just looking at it as I want to keep those guys. I don't want to see because Mark, you said it. And Trayvon's not going to be easy. He ain't.
No. And the whole thing is for me though, is that the owners. It seems like they're all trying to push it off on the quarterbacks.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is
the NFL owners are just refusing to raise the salary cap.
Well, here's what I think. I think actually 2 things happened. I think, one, they do not want to do the guaranteed contracts, and that's where everybody is saying, look, we've got to make Lamar Jackson an example. Okay?
That's bullshit, too.
Well, okay, that's the first thing.
My language.
The second thing, but the second thing that I guarantee everybody's looked at is You saw all these teams go out and go crazy in free agency and try and build their roster real quick. You saw Denver get Russell Wilson and Randy Gregory, among other people. You saw the Rams go back through last year and keep signing people left and right and are in cap hell. And you saw the Cowboys didn't do anything, and they won a playoff game. So they started looking at it and saying, maybe we need to kind of come back down to earth and stop this nonsense with trying to overpay and build the team that way. The only way it works is you have to have a basis of a really good team and then top it off with a few free agents. You cannot build a roster. You cannot be from a 7-win team and think, I'm going to build a Super Bowl contender with free agents. It doesn't work. Shout out, Joseph Heatherly is in the house. Everybody, I mentioned that Joseph's mother passed away this morning from Lou Gehrig. Make sure you keep him and him and his family in your thoughts.
God bless you, man.
So I think teams are learning we can't continue to do this. It's not sustainable to go ahead and keep paying, these quarterbacks. We're looking at staring down the barrel of $60 million a year for quarterbacks right now. When this group of guys start getting paid, it's going to hit like $60 million, and they don't want to say $60 million fully guaranteed.
That's what's going to kill those Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Hurts, he gonna want his money, and that's good for us because me personally, just look at the proof is in the pudding. He doesn't play well versus us. He really doesn't, y'all.
You know what I find amazing?
He doesn't not play that well versus us, y'all. But I'm listening, Mark.
Here's what I find so amazing, because even this season, during this year, we still heard that Dak Prescott, you can't pay the quarterback that kind of money. He's overpaid and everything, right? Has anybody said anything about Daniel Jones' contract?
Well, that's where I was going with the Lamar thing.
Not at all, because he's not the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, no, he's got the same quarterback, same contract as Dak. Matthew Stafford just got a $30 million. Matthew Stafford just got a $30 million bonus, and he didn't really play last year. Did anybody say anything about that?
Mark.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because just imagine if Daniel Jones played with the Dallas Cowboys.
You're paying him $40 million. He only had 15 touchdown passes last year. He's trash.
Man, that would
be absolutely horrible.
That would. Every day there would be a punchline every day on the 3 and 4 letter networks. There would be a punchline.
Mm-hmm.
If he was playing with the Cowboys.
Yep.
So we ought to be, as Cowboy fans and as a Cowboy family, we ought to be thankful. Forget about what the 3 and 4 letter networks say. Be thankful that we don't have that New York bomb.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that.
Y'all, some of these Cowboy fans that are haters of Dak, y'all can say whatever the hell you want, but be thankful that we don't have
Daniel Jones, let's start.
Yeah.
You know what, Thomas?
Like this, y'all. Daniel Jones has been in the NFL like what, 5 or 6 years now? 6 years?
No, it's 4 years
to beat the Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback.
But yet he's getting all the.
People are actually saying that he is better than Dak now.
Yeah, exactly. That's BS.
That's right. That's right. What's the name?
Greg Jennings, right?
Greg Jennings said he was ahead of Dak.
Prescott down, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more of.
There's a lot of people that try to break him down.
I don't think it's anything to do with Dak. I think it's to do with you say negative about the Cowboys, and we're all talking about it.
Look at it this way. Think about Shady McCoy. Does Shady McCoy actually bring anything to the table?
Times 25. He blocked me on Twitter.
Okay, no, but think about it. Does he actually bring anything that you say, wow, that was really profound? His big thing is Dak is ass. Ass. Can I say that on TV? That's all he's bringing to the table. It's like, what's his name? Oh, man, former linebacker for the Jets. I'd take Teddy Bridgewater over Dak Prescott. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, and then it was Bart Scott. And then it was like, I'll take Jameis Winston over Dak Prescott. And it's like, nobody cared about anything you had to say except trash and Dak. That's how you get paid. Trash the Cowboys.
Yep.
It's because they're going to use the Cowboys to make a name for themselves, though.
Well, you brought up something, Mark.
You do something ignorant, and it sticks around and gives you a name for yourself in that field.
Yeah, you brought up something, Mark, as far as is Dallas has looked at. You really can't come out and hammer Dallas right now. You can't. If you come out as a journalist and hammer the organization for what they did this offseason, now we could all debate. I don't think it's as great as some people, but I think it was a solid B plus, if you ask me. I still think there was some opportunity, but I can't. You would look like a fool to say they had a bad offseason. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
also, though, Brian, I don't think we're done just yet. With free agents and stuff like that. I
want to ask you guys.
I don't think we're done yet either, because I had told I was telling people on my Dallas Cowboy page on Facebook. I was telling them, I said, man, I got a crazy feeling that there is going to be another big acquisition.
Well, me too, and I'll tell you why, Thomas. Do you know who Dallas just worked out? They, worked out Elijah Wilkinson.
Offensive line.
He's only 28. He's a guard / tackle. He ain't no Hachuma Edoga either. This guy is a second-tier free agent that was looking at a multi-year contract, and it hasn't come. And he played with the Falcons, and he is better than average guard / tackle. Now, my question to you is, why are we looking at it? I'm not saying good, bad, and different, but why? If we're drafting an offensive tackle in the first round or guard, why are we adding multiple pieces? I just want to ask you that, because that's not Dallas's MO to go, we already have a lot of guys in the room. Are we going to just start cutting people that shouldn't be there? Or are we not going offensive guard and we're doing something else? Or are we trading the pick? You know what I mean?
Two things about that.
I'm trying to figure out what in the hell was going on.
That's what I mean.
Brought in Treadwell.
Well, they brought in Treadwell. They brought in a fullback. Yeah, they brought in Drummond, the wide receiver.
I'm like, damn, you got a shitload of receivers now. Why are you bringing in all these wide receivers?
I'm just confused as what they're doing. Maybe that's what they're trying to do, is just confuse everybody. But they are bringing in an offensive guard / tackle who's good.
Here's the thing, though. Think about this, what Jimmy Johnson said about how many trades and things that they made. You had Nate Newton, okay? Nate Newton, remember, he was basically cut from the Commanders, Washington Redskins at the time, because they said he was too fat.
Left hand? Left hand up?
And they ended up finding, a diamond in the rough there. But it was constantly like a conveyor belt of bringing in guys. Sometimes you find, sometimes they're crap, and you just keep them going at the door. But you end up finding a lot of guys. Most of the Cowboys' offensive line, that Great Wall of Dallas, they weren't number one draft picks. Like I said,
Mark Tuinei.
Mark Tuinei was a defensive tackle.
Right.
I think Googs was a 6th-round pick. Nate Newton was
he's a beast.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's where you find talent. And that's one thing that they have done well, finding guys like Jaron Kearse, finding Terrence Steele. And so I'm okay with them bringing guys in and checking them out and finding, hey, does this guy fit what we need? Is he cost effective? Can he help us win?
Yeah. You know what scares me about these second chance receivers, though, is that we had one last year in James Washington, and he didn't do nothing.
He couldn't stay healthy.
I'm just very confused, man, because it's not like we don't have numbers, So why are we bringing in a second tier? We're not talking we're not talking like a Chuma Udoga who's not going to make the roster. We're talking about if you're bringing this guy in, why? He's going to come in and fight for a starting job, and he ain't going nowhere. He's a multi-year deal. Type of guy. So just very curious why we're doing that if we're taking a guard or in the first round. It's like,
but maybe the guy that you said it yourself, this is not a deep draft when it comes to guards, and it may be that the guys that you're looking for aren't there. He's a backup plan. And who knows, maybe he gets here and he fits the bill better and all of a sudden you got a guy kind of like Terrence Steele.
You know what? Though?
You never know.
Who are you laughing at, Thomas? Pioneer?
Huh?
Who are you laughing at?
No, I'm watching the NCAA.
Oh, okay. I thought you were laughing at one of the comments.
You know what though? As being a fan, it's never going to be a bad thing to have too many good players because you know in this game of football, people can go down at any time. So bring them in if they work out.
I just think it's a weird deal where you're less than a month away from the draft and everybody and their mother knows that you're looking at offensive tackle and guard, and yet you're bringing a fairly high value guard.
Yeah, that's true. But
that's all. I'm just trying to say maybe they're expecting Bijan to drop and they're going to take him. I'm down with that.
Okay.
But
maybe you end up finding a guy that plugs the need and who has experience right now and say, okay, we've got a starting guard that's got experience. We don't have to wait for a rookie to get up to speed.
It's just something I saw that I found interesting. You
know what? I'm gonna say this real quick. For Bijan Robinson to drop down to the Cowboys at 26, I'll have a better chance at winning the lottery, one thing. And also, the good thing about us doing things the way we are doing right now is that in the draft, we can go and get those extra big boys we need on that line, defensive line, offensive line, wherever you want to be. Maybe even get a third-string receiver or maybe even a replacement safety or whatever. You know, we could just stack on stuff that we're already strong at. And we could just try to find the best player at that position at that time in the draft.
Yeah, how I'm looking at it, if Bijan is there, I'm taking him. If he's not, then I'm probably not taking a running back between round 3 or 4.
Be honest, y'all.
So that's how good he is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys traded back if Bijan Robinson wasn't there. You can pick up a second.
It all depends who's on the board, man. My guy's been locked now.
I don't know if anybody saw this yesterday, about 19 hours ago. Stephon Diggs tweeted out, "Come and rescue me."
Did he really?
Yeah. Damn, Gina shared it to me. I'm just seeing actually the tweet now. At 10:46 last night, and it's gotten 1.6 million views.
This is why I'm bringing up what I'm bringing up, because that was been my pet cat all along was Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
they restructured his contract though. So I thought I was like, okay, they restructured.
But that means it's more tradable as well.
Let me look at his numbers.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds like Stephon Diggs want to be a Cowboy, y'all.
Well, we know he does.
I would love to see him be a Cowboy.
We know he does. That's all. I was waiting for somebody to say that, and I was surprised it was Mark. Is there a trade out there that we're going to do? Is there a trade out there that we're doing with that 26 pick? All these guys that they're working out, they're looking at for second round possibilities.
Could be.
You know what I mean? It's very interesting.
But I expect to see Hopkins traded during the draft.
Yeah, but it won't be the level of
oh no, I wouldn't think there's going to be high draft compensation. No, I'm just saying that if you're a team, I mean, you're looking at. Let me look at Stephon's. But see, the problem with Stephon's is they ain't going to with them restructuring his number.
Yeah.
It's $14 million for a cap hit for this year, but the dead money is $45 million.
Yeah, no. Well, then why is he saying it? Are they? I guess it's one of those triggers where they can restructure and do whatever the hell they want. They don't have to talk to the player, correct? So,
well, they've already done it.
Yeah,
they already restructured.
What I'm saying is they don't have to ask Stephon. They already did it. So
if they made it, well, although,
let me go there.
Wait a minute.
Let me go over the.
So
cap.
over the cap, if he's traded post June 1st, it's basically it's $13 million the first year, 8 the next, 8 the next, 8 the next, and so on. But still. You could get out of it for at least now for only $13 million, but then you're paying him only this year $14 on the cap, so that doesn't look quite as good. I mean, as bad as you think. But
I don't think it's happening either. But he obviously don't want to be there. Why are they locking this poor guy up like that? He don't want to be there.
Well, he's already locked up, so
he's locked.
Yeah, he's got He had $47 million guaranteed in that contract.
Hey, listen to me on this real quick. Yeah, we're we're good with salary cap for now, but next season, of course, going to next season, we're going to be, over the cap like we always are. But we're going to have some of those big contracts kind of starting to come off the board. You know what I'm saying? Like D-Law is like what for 2 more years, I think.
I got to look at it after they restructured it because they restructured him, so that means you've got more, but in the coming years,
stretched out for another year at least.
Well, I'm just saying we got some bad contracts that are coming towards an end, at least, and might be able to replace him with that. Get him with that.
Yeah. Well, did you see the headline of the Pro Football Talk? Odell Beckham Jr. is thought to be looking for a 1-year, $15 million deal. Good
luck with that. Nobody's paying him.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Not with a 27.5 foot pole.
Yeah. All right. So here's.
It's not going to happen. He's probably putting that out, hoping he gets 10. That ain't happening.
I would give him like 7 or 8.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's looking at.
I'm talking about with incentives on it though.
However you want to.
I give him
shake
like
it. It's going to be low.
All right. Well, here's the problem. Here's the thing for Hopkins. See, this is crazy because he's a $29.9 million hit for the Cardinals this year. Basically, if you trade for him, he's a $19 million cap hit for the new team. If the Cardinals don't take any of that. If he's traded pre-June 1st, at least they save $8 million, and that's where they're looking and saying, if we can trade him, at least we'll save some of that money, right? And hopefully get the other team to take on some of that contract. And this is where teams are like, no, we're not taking on the whole contract. But you could split the difference and say, okay, we'll take him, and we'll take half of the salary, you take the other half, in which case they could still save about $20 million and only have a $10 million cap hit.
Right.
And that's and get some draft capital draft day because, Kyler Murray's not going to be ready to start the season. This is a lost year. It's a new coach and everything else.
I just want to say this. Everybody says, well, do we really need,
Yes.
Do we really need another receiver? Just think of this, people. The Eagles have A.J. Brown. They have Devontae Smith, and they're looking to draft Jackson Smith and out of Ohio State. So, yeah, that's loyal Cowboys, man.
No, Pioneer. It's April 2nd. That was an April Fool's joke. We're actually, you know what? I am so sick of people. People are so butthurt just because you fell for it. Okay? It's April Fool's. I didn't come up with it. I didn't do clickbait and everything else like people do every day about, quarterbacks that the Cowboys are going to go for. Don't hate. Listen, don't hate the hater. Okay, don't hate the player. Hate the game.
Hate the game.
Just because I'm good at the shit, you're going to be pissed off at me? There was a million damn April Fool's pranks out there. Mine was just believable.
Come on, Stan.
Damn. What's wrong with you people?
So, you can never have too much talent. At the end of the day, we all love defense, and defense is great. But I would tend to say that the Kansas City Chiefs won it with offense, man. That was not a defensive battle out there. Mm-hmm. It was just whoever had the ball last.
That was a high scoring, whoever had the ball last with an appropriate amount of time was going to win the game.
So I need another weapon on the outside, man. I don't care if it's, I need weapons. That's why I want Bijan. He's a weapon that will allow Pollard to go outside. We can stack up on.
Let me ask you this though: what's the route to getting Bijan Robinson? What's the route to trading up to
No, we're not
trading. Are you stupid? I'm sorry. Excuse my language. I'm not trading up for a running back. What big name running back is winning the Super Bowl? None.
We ain't trading up.
Mr. Cowboy, there's only 2 teams that are going to take Bijan. Only 2 teams. It's going to be Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Nobody else is taking him. Just telling you now.
You don't trade. We ain't trade. Listen. Morris Claiborne. That's all I got to say.
Right before us.
Bijan Robinson will be off the board in the top 5 picks, y'all. I'm telling you
won't. I'm telling you, he ain't.
maybe
okay. Two things real quick here. Joseph Heatherly says, if we have the opportunity, would we bring Zeke back? I've seen some articles like that. Well, Zeke Elliott's not getting signed by somebody. Maybe we should bring him back. He's not getting signed by anybody because everybody realizes he's spent.
Yeah.
Nobody wants him, so let's bring him back. I don't see that. That and it may also be too that I got hit in the head yesterday because somebody asked
You got hit the head by
how I'm doing. And for those who, here's the thing: I can make fun of myself. I have a video of Michael Irvin that was.
I saw it. You got hit so hard that you had a telephone recording, right?
Yes.
You got hit so hard the telephone fell out of your hand.
Just slurred a little bit there. He sounds like Rocky after like a long fight with Drago.
That was like it was crazy because I turned away and I looked back and thunk, and I had this big bump on my eye for a while.
Felt like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
Oh boy! But you got to be able to make fun of yourself. So every time the Cowboys do something stupid, that's going to be my clip.
Hey, Mark, I got a question though.
You didn't get your head cracked yesterday, did you?
I did, man. It's still sore right up here, too. It got me right there. Bam.
Hey, you haven't put on any Philly 500 clips yet. Can we get one?
Oh, actually, I forgot. Where's Stacy?
We get one.
Stacy, because I forgot. Stacy, it was her birthday the other day, and she wanted to get a Philly 500 meltdown for her birthday. Let me pull it up. That's kind of crazy that's what people want for their birthday. Here we go. For you, Stacy.
I fire Howard. Fucking fire the motherfucker. Stupid motherfucker.
What an idiot.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't even.
Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson.
You know what's funny about that?
What's that?
He's doing videos, and he was on the Bijan, and then he's on the Joey Porter, then he's back to Bijan, then he's on this person.
I mean,
he's covered it all, man. So whoever they take is.
I told you we were going to take.
It's going to be the next great thing.
Of course.
And that's fine. I just think it's funny.
There you go. Happy birthday, Stacy.
Some of their players, I didn't think they would keep. I think they made some mistakes, but.
Yeah, boy, they pretty much was kind of forced to keep Darius Slay though. Cutting him would have only saved them $3 million.
And Slay,
filthy,
filthy. The Ravens offered him the Zach deal, and he came back, which he's smart.
You know
filthy, you are probably. Here's the thing on that one. As far as Charles goes, Charles has been hit a lot, and here's what's crazy is Charles is only 2 years older than me. We played together at JMU. And Charles has slowed down a lot. And that's one of the reasons why I always like to go to the autograph signing shows, because a lot of these guys, they have been through hell.
Say that though, Mark.
What, Charles? Charles?
No. I mean, why would he say you don't know him?
Haters.
Come on, man. Why are we going there? Well, who cares?
But,
I know he knows him.
Look,
I've seen the video, and I know the story. But I don't understand why we're going there, my man.
Yeah.
You bring something else to the table.
It's all good. You know, haters gonna hate. But, I mean, I can go through some stories of some shit. You know, I can go down deep with the stories from and things. But it's all good.
He's on record to be, he's bipolar.
Yeah. I can tell you some of the things, man. You better keep your head on a swivel in the locker room. That's all I got to say.
Joe Boo as his Facebook profile picture?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that should tell you right there.
Where's Joe Boo at, Mark? Yeah, man.
He's up on the counter there.
I'll say one thing about Charles Haley. We don't make the trade.
We don't win all those Super Bowls.
So, and it's not just one move. It's a collection of moves that were made. The Dion move, the Charles Haley move. You know, it was all those moves.
Forget about the Herschel Walker trade.
Don't forget about guys like Thomas Everett that we traded for, or yeah, like and drafting Kevin Smith. Everybody forgets about Kevin Smith. Like
I
you know what I
remember that.
mean. You know what I mean? It's like the little moves, but everything has to come together. Everything.
I remember him when he played at Texas A&M. He was
Yeah,
first team
exactly. Yep.
Also, though, you guys, I lived in Minnesota for 2 years, and every time you tell somebody you're a Cowboys fan, that's all what they think about is the Herschel Walker trade.
Well, they're on the wrong side of it, man.
Instantly, it goes to the Herschel Walker trade, and they always just give you a nasty look or whatever, this and that. It's like, man, hey, that was a long time ago. Y'all messed up on that one, man. Don't come on me.
And I'm gonna tell you something else too. If it wasn't for that Herschel Walker trade, we would have never drafted Emmitt Smith because that was Minnesota's first round draft choice that we got.
And I don't know that Emmitt was our first choice in that draft. Do you remember? He wasn't the first running back taken. So
no, he was late in the first round because a lot of people thought he wasn't going to be that good of a running back because they said he was small and slow.
19.
Right. So
you're right, Brian. Emmitt Smith wasn't the Cowboys' first choice. It was actually Junior Seau that was the Cowboys' first choice.
Junior Seau.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
Well,
all right, cool.
That would have been a good pick too, though. I'm gonna be honest. That would have been a pretty good pick, also.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're talking about the rushing champion. Nobody's ever going to beat that. By the way, just for the just the way the game is going. And
it's too much of a passing game now.
Yeah, that and. You can say what you want about Emmitt, and he gets a bad rap as far as, he played behind a great offensive line. While he was with the Cowboys, he never got hurt. He never got a knee injury, or at least any substantial. I'm sure there was nicks, like we all know about the Giant playoff game where he played with a separated shoulder. We all know about that. But, I mean, as far as knee injuries, he had to get traded. Or, he was with the Cardinals before he had his first major knee injury. Which is sad, but that's incredible, man, for a running back with that many carries. It was real incredible.
Yeah, similar to LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah. To a higher level. But here's the thing, though. It's cause and effect. Think about when Emmitt got hit, okay? There's a difference between being hit in the backfield versus getting a head of steam up and getting 2 or 3 yards down the field. It's a totally different game because now you're getting hit by linebackers and cornerbacks and safeties and stuff, more glancing blows. When you're getting hit in the backfield and you're getting 3 or 4, 300-pound guys falling on you, that's where the injuries happen.
He was getting through the line of scrimmage unscathed, and then he was getting one-on-one matchups with these secondary and linebackers. It was a wrap. Our offensive linemen were blowing through and getting to the linebackers, and Emmitt was breaking through. I would like to have seen Barry Sanders behind our line.
Oh my God!
Could you imagine?
Or with some Barry Sanders with a team with a few weapons on it.
I'm not taking nothing away from Emmitt because that was the perfect back that we needed. We didn't need the Barry Sanders, but Barry Sanders, he would have won if he was behind our line. Or Walter Payton. Yeah, I know he won, but he would have won more behind our line.
Yeah.
Eric Williams, where's Twiz at, man? We picked him out of he was drafted. His hometown is Philly, man. You guys didn't draft him. We ended up getting him. Eric Williams. Everybody forgets about Eric Williams too. You know how nasty he was. He used to own Reggie White. So.
Yeah.
Reggie White said Eric Williams was the nastiest guy he's ever played against and toughest.
He was a beast. He had a bad attitude too.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. The bottom line. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a lot of politics in this. He should be in there.
I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking about this first round pick. Well, I'm just sitting here thinking I think the Cowboys.
Hey, Rhonda.
I think we're gonna get a tight end in this draft somewhere.
Nah. Yeah, not in the first round.
Not in the first.
I'm boycotting. I'm gonna boycott if we pass Quentin Johnson or we pass Steve Avila or if we pass Bijan to take a tight end, well, especially with the 2 that we got already. Nah, man. There's a lot of tight ends.
Yeah.
We're gonna go offensive guard, I think.
And that's fine. Like I told DMV, if they want Avila, then just take his ass at 26. Don't mess around. Take him. I'll be happy with that as long as
That's the
Bijan's
kid
gone.
out of TCU, right?
Yeah, he's all that.
He's trying to get himself to Dallas. I know that because they say he's from Arlington or something like that. And
He's a local kid. He's already
he's
come
a
out
local
said he
kid.
wants to play for the Cowboys, but it's not just a. He's a strong physical guard. There's no doubt what he is,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll come in and hit the ground running. So I'm fine with that. So
Yeah. All righty. We've actually gone a little bit overtime here today.
An hour and 10.
Yeah, a little bit. I've got a project I'm working on upstairs.
You guys carried away, Mark.
Well, I tell you what, if you guys want to keep going, give me like 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and I'm going to go upstairs, do something real quick, and come back. Can you guys handle? Can you handle it for 3 minutes? Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
I gotta jump on my computer, but I'll be back.
All right, man. I'll see you in a minute.
All right, man.
All right. So, Thomas, who were you looking at in the first round? What,
Well,
Thomas Lee? Yeah, there he goes.
If it
Look,
isn't Avila,
I mean, if you could pick a guy.
it's going to be an old lineman. If it's not Avila, it would be Matthew Bergeron of Syracuse.
Now, I think Bergeron we can get in a second, but I'm with you in loving him. But I haven't seen him drafted in the first. There's a lot. I mean, he's a tackle, but he can play guard.
Both. That's what a lot of people don't know. He can play both tackle and guard.
Right.
Yeah, for me, if we don't go with B.J. Robinson, if he's off the board, if Carter's off the board,
and that's the likely scenario.
If those two are off the board and we don't go offensive line, I'm saying trade back. I'm big on trading back, y'all, for some reason.
Me too. But you have to win the trade. You can't just trade back the trade. You got to get another. You need to get like a pick in the 30s. I don't want to drop out of the 30s.
Round pick.
And then get another top 100 pick, whether it's in the 60s or 70s.
That'd be a good trade for some teams.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
That's my thing.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I got a crazy hunch that if we do that, the team who we trade with is gonna want players too.
Nah, you ain't giving no players right now. We got our team set up there. I don't think Jerry Jones is trading any player right now. Because who do you look at on our team right now that's on the hot seat, really?
The only body that I would have, considered trading was just restructured, and I don't want to trade him, but I was just saying was Gallup. If you were going to make a trade for a Hopkins, or you were going to bring in a receiver and draft a receiver, but that's out the window now. We've already restructured him. So
I don't even think that Jerry Jones came into the offseason thinking that, though. Just being honest.
Now, Twiz is saying that in the chat, he's saying that the Eagles trade up to 25 and take Bijan. I would just say, Twiz, they only got 5 picks, man. You can sit right there and get, you can sit there and you take Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think that's perfect for what you guys want. You know what I mean?
What do you guys think the Eagles are going to do in the first round with their first pick?
What they should do is I would go defense. That's what I would do. But I don't know what they're going to do.
Because they lost their what's the pass rusher they had?
They could go linebacker and cornerback, or go edge rusher and linebacker. They could do any of that. But
what's so funny about the Eagles right now is that it's obvious they want B.J. Robinson, but they know that they got holes in their defense that they have to sew up prior to getting that running
I think their offense is pretty set, other than getting another piece. But their defense was giving up 40 with the guys that they got, that they had last year, and they lost a few. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like
they did lose. They did lose one offensive lineman, starting offensive lineman.
Yeah, they lost the Hawaiian, or I'm talking about. I can't think of his name, but the Hawaiian guy,
and they lost what's his name, Dillard. He signed with the Titans.
Dillard, yes.
Gardner Johnson also the corner. Did they lose Johnson, the corner?
Yeah, he signed with Detroit.
Yeah, Chauncey Johnson. They lost Epps. They lost. Obviously they saw the 2 D tackles that are free agents, Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph. So that means that their number 1 pick's going to have to step up this year and be more than a 2-down player. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hargrove, that's the biggest loss.
If Bijan Robinson get past number 10,
like $84 million.
Yeah.
Hargrave did.
Yeah. Yep.
If
So
Bijan Robinson were to get past number 10, I would feel that there's a good possibility that he could drop to us. But you never know. That's a lot of space.
Like I told Mark, I'm hoping that he's gone because I agree with you. That's not our number 1 need.
No, it isn't. We don't need him.
I'm just saying, if he drops to 26, who's going to be on the board that's rated higher?
Everybody is chasing after the sexy name. We don't need him.
Yeah, we don't need him at all. We don't. But I would have a hard time letting him go if he's sitting there at 26,
True.
That's my only scary thing, It's like, why are we going to let this guy go?
Because Bijan Robinson, in my opinion, is the top 5 talent in this draft. And you can get him at 26.
Yes.
But
let me just rattle. Let me rattle off the running backs that now. Okay, Bijan's gone. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, I love him, but I think we have Pollard. We've already made that decision to bring him back. Okay, I would ask Thomas, would Gibbs and Pollard go good together?
I don't know. Gibbs he ain't really a big guy.
That's what I mean. He's more like he's a smaller guy. He's 5'9". It's not horrible. He runs a 4.3. The dude is a beast. I'm just saying, I don't know that we would be in the market for Gibbs. I think if Bijan was gone, then I think we're looking at a 3rd-round guy. And then you got Zach Charbonnet.
From UCLA.
He's a good back, but I think that he's got a lot of carries on him.
I don't think
I remember him when he started at Michigan.
Yeah, and then we got Devon A-Chain. He's another guy. He's only 5'8", but he's explosive. This is why I was telling you guys, if we would have let the Pollard go, or if he signed a deal with somebody, there's plenty of backs, man. You got Dwayne McBride. They're higher on him than I am. I don't dislike McBride, but I love me some Tank Bigsby out of Auburn.
All right,
I love me some Kendall Miller.
Brian, you got to let your anger go, man, because you're going to turn to the dark side.
I love Sean Tucker.
Listen, Tony Pollard is part of the Dallas Cowboys offense. He knows Dak really well.
If he can walk.
No, man. Look, you can't get rid of everybody that Dak is used to playing with. Here's the problem with bringing in a lot of new guys is the off seasons are so short now. You don't have much time to go ahead and get everybody on the same page.
Dak's got a field in his backyard.
Okay, all right.
We're sending Devin A-Chain, and we're sending Quentin Johnson over to Dax to spend a weekend. We'll be good. I'm playing, but
Mark Hutton, Emmitt Smith is not very big. Emmitt Smith is about 5'11". No, he's not 5. I'm 5'10". I'm taller.
You ain't 5'10".
5'10" and a half, and a good in the morning before I shrink.
I'm 5'8", and I don't look
5'9".
Okay, Emmitt is shorter than I am. Trust that.
That's wiki, is it?
I tell you, and Barry Sanders is only like 5'8". Barry Sanders, I'm like towering over Barry Sanders. So, yeah.
I got a question, though, y'all.
Go ahead.
How running back heavy will this first round be?
First round? One. People aren't – listen, people. Shout out to LA Lakers Show, channel member for 6 months. Listen, people. Running backs are a dime a dozen now. Teams are looking at this and saying, Kansas City, Philadelphia, they ain't paying big money for running backs.
Which is why I said, why do we bring
Derrick Henry? Look. Derrick Henry's been a beast. Still had 1,300 yards last year. They can't get a ham sandwich for him. Barkley screwed up because he had a $12.5 million a year deal offered to him. It's like, nah, I don't want that. I want more money. and now he's at the franchise tag. He may never get close to that $12 million again. Eckler, did they finally trade him? Did he get traded yet?
No.
Ain't nobody trying to get him.
Don't believe so.
It's like right now, it's kind of like running backs are kind of like poison ivy. You don't want to touch them. Honestly, that's the thing that's kind of crazy. So spending, and this was my thing about saying, oh, well, let's get Bijan Robinson. And I was kind of like, you're going to pay getting that guy when maybe you're better off getting a guy like a guard who plays every single play. A running back, 25 snaps a game is a lot of snaps. So at most, he's playing half of the plays on the field, right? That guard is playing every single snap. And not only does he help the running back by opening up holes, he keeps your quarterback upright. To me, that's more important than a great running back. But that's me. I'm Joe the fan, and I don't know shit. I'll be the first to admit that.
Yeah, Emmitt Smith was 5'9", 221 coming out of college. He ran a 4.5 at the combine.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 4.5. You do that now, they'd be like, we can't take him right now. He's
small and he's slow.
As a running back in today's game, come out of college, you run a 4.5, you're going like the 4th round. Probably.
That's what I mean, man. Yeah. That's crazy. But that just goes to show like we get caught up, and I do, and all these little numbers, man. Just use your eyes. Can the guy run the ball, man? How does he look?
I've heard a lot of legends of the game say that some teams go too much on the combine. That's just looking at the film.
Well, that's a tool, but those are the guys that listen to the Mike Mayock's and stuff and don't really do the research. Yeah. And they look at it and say, "Wow, look at Giovanni and Clowney. Look how fast he is. He's going to be a perennial All-Pro."
It's a tool. You said it right. It's an added tool.
It's an added tool that can make some people a lot of money and lose people money also, though.
Thomas Garrett, was that like a giant egg?
Huh?
Thomas Garrett, was that like a giant egg there? It looks like a giant egg.
Oh, no, this is a bowl.
Oh, okay. I just saw it was white and a yellow spot. I was like, damn, that's the biggest egg I've ever seen in my life. Oh, Lord. I've changed the camera angle here, and what I want you guys to notice is...
yeah, I just went in the kitchen.
Okay. I want you guys to notice we've got... that's actually Charles Haley. That's an autograph piece. There's Diggs that's autographed. I got a bunch of pieces that we're going to start giving away to you guys. If you become a channel member, if you do a super chat or super thanks and all that, we've actually emptied. We're starting over between now and the draft. We're starting that over, and so far, David Wiley is the first one and the only one that's going to be in a hopper. We're going to start giving those things away on a weekly basis. They are autographed. They do have Emmitt Smith's Pro Viva sticker on there, so they are authenticated.
The Tony Dorsett thing off him, man. I mean, who has? I've got Tony Dorsett's signature.
I've got two Tony. I've got on a Joe Barty, and I have one on the print.
Boy, man, that's my guy.
And see, the thing is you don't know how many more times that you're going to see these guys. I saw Charlie Waters about 4 years ago, and Charlie Waters now is he's basically he's not in the public eye anymore. They go downhill. Last year, Rayfield Wright.
My
passed away.
Guys up there.
I love how everybody talks. Eagles for life. Dak regress guy. Lord Nova, you're put in there too. Let me get these things. I got to get this started. I do those things, the autograph signings, because I'm thankful for what those guys gave to us, and it's my way of trying to give back to them because a lot of them don't have means anymore.
Didn't know when he was in.
Hey, Mark, I got a question, Mark.
Yes, sir.
To go to those CSA shows, do you got to be invited or
no? Pay $15 at the door, and you buy a ticket for the autograph signings.
Okay.
Once
you get in line, you got to pay for a ticket. Then
you to get in the door, it's like $15.
You know how expensive it is,
and then depending on the player. So like
You gotta
Bob
pay like
Lilly is 50.
$200 to get a something more,
Well,
your signature.
Depends on
When's the
who.
next show, Mark?
Depends on who. Bob Lilly was $50. Charles Haley 75. Micah Parsons, I think. Diggs was 100, which actually is reasonable. Micah Parsons is like 175. Emmett's like 250. Now Emmett Smith, excuse me. Here's what's crazy was Zeke Elliott was always like 250, and it was kind of like, how are you the same price as Emmitt Smith? You know, Dak was always at the worst 175. It's like, how is Zeke more expensive than Dak? But he always was. I guess he won't be anymore.
When is the next show, Mark?
That one is the next one will be in June. Now, what happens typically in June is usually that is just the older players. Usually you see the younger players here because CD was there, Micah Parsons was there, and Diggs was there yesterday. I didn't do CD again because CD and Micah will only autograph NFL official license stuff. That's in their agreement. And
Mark, you gotta let me know when Emmett come because
he comes every year because he's got his company
autographed up. I need to get my boy autograph up here.
He'll be back. Okay, I tell you what, he'll be back in June because his company Pro Viva, they do they will authenticate certain Cowboy players for free. So when you get them,
this picture's certified up here.
So when you get it,
Is it the same place, Mark? In
yeah. See this thing right here? It's actually they can read it, and it's actually certifies that it's actually authentic. So when you see that says Bob Lilly, I have a picture of him signing, which also helps too. But that has been certified and registered with Pro Viva that it is legit. And that's where you got to be careful because you can't, you don't really know. Somebody says, oh, yeah, this is such and such. I've got a football over here that was given to me that's got all these autographs on there. A guy gave it to me, and I can't tell you who they are on them. I look at them, and it's like most of them look like chicken scratch. So,
hey, Mark, I got a question.
Yeah, I got a 500 home run baseball bat. I got like a dozen names on it.
Yeah.
I don't know who half of them are. Obviously, he had 500 home runs, but I can't tell.
Hey,
Was it Mike Schmidt, was it?
One of them, yeah. Hank Aaron's on there. There's a few, but there's some I don't know. They were my brother's bats, and when he passed away, I got them.
I love how Eagle fans try and justify the loss that they had. I got something for you, Eagle fans. I got something for y'all. You know what, Eagle fans? I need to, when I just start seeing some of the jackasses, I just need to go like
Fuck
this.
them birds. Fly, Eagles, fly. Now we shoot those birds out of the sky. Stupid dumbasses managed to give up a 3rd and 30 to my sexy arm. Pathetic defense and team. No wonder I own those piece of shit frauds every damn year. Don't get me started on the fans. You boo me while I earned a respected award. Losing the Super Bowl was just karma for you fuckheads. I can't wait to drop 100 on your heads next season while being the daddy of the NFC East again.
How in the hell an Eagle fan could come in here and say Dak regress got when he's averaged 42 points over the last 3 games against you?
I like the play on words.
No, I mean, seriously. He has averaged over the last 2 seasons, the 3 games he's played, 40, 42, and 50 points. How is it? He ain't regressed against your team. He ain't regressed against you mother humpers. I can say that much.
And the only reason why they beat us last year is because
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush had 3 picks in that game, y'all. I was at that game.
They just want to troll because I think they're afraid.
Listen to me on this, y'all. Seeing how Dak Prescott came back after the injury, how the offense just opened up and just started scoring.
Yep.
I think we blow the Eagles out of the water in that game. If you
Mark.
ask me.
Mark.
Yeah.
Who was that that thought they saw a rock star yesterday? Was that
Oh no, that's Gina and her daughter. Oh my God, she was just they're in love with Micah Parsons. And see, it was funny because Micah was kind of playing because they were like, "Can we get a picture? He's like, "No, I can't. My agent and everything, right?" And so he kind of was like, "Hurry up!" He did this like fake yelling so you get a snap a picture or stuff. But she was just like, "Micah." I was just like, man, he's like, she literally thought he was like a rock star, man. It was just fun. It was so cute.
Mark.
Yeah.
Did you give Micah Parsons one of those plaques?
No, I actually did not get Micah Parsons' autograph this year. Micah will only sign licensed NFL stuff, and I went ahead and dealt with all the people that I knew I was going to go ahead and get. I just didn't have enough time to do them. I don't mean disrespect to Michael Parsons, but last year I was actually very disappointed. And this is the difference between young guys and the older ones. And this goes back to Roger Staubach. When I was fortunate enough to have blocked for Roger Staubach, and yes, that's my story. Y'all can say I'm full of shit if you want to, but it's a fact. I blocked for Roger Staubach. Roger Staubach was at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he was going to be doing a spot with Franco Harris with my wife for United Way. He had been in the autograph booth, who was only supposed to sign for an hour, but he signed for 2 hours. That area is secured by security and all that. He came out the back of the tent to go back into the Hall of Fame so they could do the photo shoot. Once he got outside that tent and he was no longer in a protected area, people descended on him like crazy. God, get a picture with an autograph. And it was like crazy. So I jumped in front of him and literally just started pushing people out the way. It was just like swimming upstream like a salmon. And I'm just, get out of the way. And I'm pushing people. So Roger Staubach and my wife are behind me. So I can literally say I blocked for Roger Staubach. It wasn't a football game, but I did. The thing that was crazy was, let me finish the story real quick. When he got finished doing his whole thing, my wife's like, here's Roger Staubach and yada, yada, yada and stuff. And Roger, what are you getting ready to do? He said, well, I rode over from the hotel with a friend, and I got to find the friend so I can get a ride back to the hotel. She's like, you can't just walk around the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You're Roger Staubach. Mark, get the car. Take Roger back. Man, I was worried I was going to have a car accident with Roger Staubach. But he said, because he's sitting beside me, because I opened up the door back seat because I'm going to put him back. I'll sit up front. And I'm sitting here, and he's got that first Super Bowl ring that's literally sitting right there. And we're talking about the pistol offense and stuff. And he says, it's just great to be remembered. And I'm like, who the fuck is going to forget you? You're Roger Staubach. But you see so many of these older players. When I got back, there's another tent with like Forrest Gregg and Chris Hamburger, all of these guys that I remember from growing up that are Hall of Famers. Ain't nobody there getting their autographs. It was like they're Dalton Schultz right now. And that's where you realize that, when you're a player right now, everybody knows you and everything else, right? Oh, you're a Dallas Cowboy. Let it get to be a couple years down the road. Nobody knows who you are. They don't care about you. And so you see the older players. Oh, there's Votto. Uh-oh, Votto's back. There you go. But the older players, they're ecstatic to see you. They're happy that you came. They're happy that you want to get an autograph. And they're going to interact with you. These young guys, Micah Parsons had his earbuds in and didn't look up. Now, he's different. He was different this year. He was definitely much, much better. Maybe somebody got to him. Maybe he saw one of my videos and said, oh, man, they are paying $175 to get, an autograph.
They're young, man.
But, those shout out to JRS 87. You're put into the drawing for one of the big pieces along with Eddie, my cousin Eddie. You're in the drawing for one of those prints that we do. Eddie B. But that's the difference with these young guys. They don't care. I'm sorry, Thomas?
Mark, we got another storm coming. They got a tornado warning in Dallas.
Oh, shit.
And it's headed east.
Oh, Lordy.
God bless everybody in Dallas.
Man, yeah. And we've had, about 40 people have been killed by tornadoes in the last 2 weeks? I tell you, last night, we got a lot of wind last night besides just me coming through, and it was humping. I mean, it sounded, you could hear the wind in the distance, and it sounded like a freight train was coming. And all of a sudden, I was like, man, let me get my ass back inside because it was crazy. Votto, what's happening? He's connecting his audio.
Fuck the Eagles.
There you go. Oh, that wasn't.
No, he's in town. I mean, he's here.
CD was at the show too. I didn't get his again because I didn't have enough money to roll with all. CD's like 150 and stuff,
it's not
but
like you're an endless pit of dough. I mean,
Rhonda Sparks, shout out to Rhonda, she's added to it. I mean,
all right.
Believe it or not, I spent
$1,000 on here.
Y'all.
Is anybody on the way between Virginia and St. Louis and the draft? Because we're on our road trip. We like to stop and at least possibly meet some people. So
live in Ohio. I don't know if that's on the way.
Yeah.
Ohio is on the way because we're going right through Ohio.
Maryland, but yeah, I'm not that far from Mark right now, but yeah.
What part of Ohio?
Man, you can hop on the.
I think we go through Cincinnati.
I'm like right there by the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, not too far from that bridge. So
if I didn't have
Woodrow Wilson, you mean in D.C.?
We can pick you up, James.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about the Woodrow Wilson Bridge in D.C.?
Well, I'm focusing on another ring this year, not a
I
Super
know.
Bowl ring.
He's getting married, man. He's doing it.
We kind of, depending on which way you go, but you're going through Central Ohio.
What up, man?
Definitely going through Cincinnati.
How you doing?
Hey, yo.
Well, we're all right.
You gotta say it, Beto. You gotta say it for the Eagle fans.
What the Eagles?
There you go. We love it, man. We love it. But we should definitely stop in Kansas City. In St. Louis and get some St. Louis ribs, so we can compare the barbecue.
You see that sign that says rib tips? No, sorry. Yeah, I'm down. You know that, man. I'll probably be driving. Mark doesn't want to drive through St. Louis, so let's give it to the white guy.
I was gonna say we got a token white guy with us.
But the guy, yeah, right, exactly. Sorry, I'll be what you want, whatever.
Okay, the fastest route is 16 hours and 4 minutes, 1,058 miles.
That's like me going to Florida, man. That's nothing.
Yeah, that's really not that bad.
It's better than going through the hills of Tennessee and then over.
Anything over 3 hours, I fly. I don't even.
In and over.
You know what?
Yeah, I
would.
Hear you.
The same way, been honest.
I would rather. I'd rather drive. I got no problem driving. I'd rather drive than fly. After that last plane ride I had from California on JetBlue to stopped in Florida, man, that was the worst freaking flight I've ever had.
Turbulence or something?
No, it was just a shitty plane. Here it is.
Why JetBlue?
No, here's what pissed me. I tell you what pissed me off about it. Okay, first of all, it was you booked the flight and it was like Alaska Air, which I love, going out, and it was one of those super savers, so it was JetBlue coming back, and so the JetBlue flight, which was a midnight flight from California, I get there and they say, "Oh, you can't have carry-on bags." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You mean I can't have a carry-on bag, right?"
They're gonna try to charge you for it.
And so, I was they were like, you can only have a personal item. Because I got my computers, my setup and all. I'm like, I'm not checking that. So they hit me with, we ended up having to take the bags that we were going to carry on and check that. We ended up with like $250 worth of checked bags for the flight, right? And then they say, oh, we're looking for people who want to be in the exit way. I was like, okay, all right, so we'll sign up to be in the exit way. Okay, this is cool.
Extra $60.
No, they didn't charge us extra for it, but the damn seat had like no cushion in it. It was like a hardest chair that you've ever sat in. Look, it was so bad. Have you ever sat in a chair? Hold on. Have you ever?
To be now it's Frontier.
They're right. They're basically like that. But the seat was so bad. Spirit. There's no Spirit. The seat was so bad that you had to go ahead and sit on one butt cheek and let the other one rest.
I've never,
Okay, then you got to turn over and get the other one because it literally hurt that bad. And so it is a flight through the night, and every 30 minutes you got to change butt cheeks. Oh damn, that was hurt. Okay, but this flight.
I'll tell you, American Airlines.
It was the worst. I was like, just let me jump out the window or something. It was just that bad.
I flew to Dallas on American Airlines, and I had my jersey on. And after the flight attendant seen my jersey, they was like, gave me all kinds of free drinks and stuff. They was like, "Go Cowboys!" So I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
That's what I usually fly with.
Well, lucky you. We are going to go through Columbus. We're going to go through St. Louis. We're going to go through Indy.
He's got his trip take like.
Okay, so Columbus, Dayton, Indianapolis, St. Louis are all on the road for the quickest route. And St. Louis. All right, so if anybody's in those areas and knows a great place to eat, maybe we have a meetup.
Maybe I can sweet talk my fiance, but that's gonna be a lot of
Listen,
work.
man,
Some steaks
James,
or
it ain't
something.
gonna cost you nothing.
James, where are you at?
You need a couple $100. That's all you'll need.
Ooh, James, where do you live at?
You probably need a couple $100. We ain't gonna charge. You know, yeah, maybe give Mark a little like hundo for the room. You get, we'll get.
Oh, you want to go on the trip? Where is he on the way?
With?
Huh?
Oh man.
How much do the tickets for the
He's
draft?
coming with. He wants to be.
Oh, you can be in the draft area is free. Not inside. I don't know how much the tickets are for that, but in the draft city, it's free.
At Marshall's, man.
Dude, he's on a roll, Thomas.
Yeah.
Nah, that's my brother. He's the San Francisco 49er.
I thought you were calling me a fat ass. I lost 23 pounds. Jesus Christ.
Man.
Hey, I've lost 16.
Your 49er loving ass.
All right, it seems like we're kind of going off the rails here.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you guys go. It's been nice.
Yeah, it's actually we've been in overtime, and I've got a project that I'm working on in the workshop that I had to get going. But we did that for Roland Stacy. We hit her up with that.
My favorite one is when his boy throws a pick six against Dallas. That's my favorite.
It's pretty funny.
That one's the best. He just builds and builds and builds, and then he starts throwing his hat and shit.
And he's trying, he's trying to hold it back.
Yeah, he's always good for shits and giggles. That's the only bad thing about doing the draft is
we're not gonna see it. Well,
it is yeah, we're not going to see his meltdowns. We'll have to go back later on and edit. That's what we'll have to do. But let me say to everybody, I appreciate everybody coming in. We will be doing some giveaways of the stuff that we got autographed over the weekend, and we're going to be getting ready for the draft. And of course, I'll be heading on Tuesday back down to work on the red brick house and stuff. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out my other channel. Jobu's Day Job. We are getting that house together, and it just literally changes every week. And my man Vado, you looking good, Vado. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. How are you?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. Unfortunately, though, we got to get ready to get out of here. Well, I tailgate at the Panthers game. That might be a possibility, Carolina Cowboy, because that's only about 6 hours down the road from me. So that might not be a bad spot to go. But everybody, I appreciate everybody, and I will catch you guys later.
I have a video of Michael Irvin that was... shit. Fuck.
All right, bud.
Ow. That hurt. Damn.